Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Krista and I'll be doing your May 2019 general reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this is for all Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising signs. If this doesn't resonate with you, check out your Moon and Rising signs if you're cross-watching. Sometimes that'll help with additional messages. Again, this is a general reading. If you want a personal reading, contact me. We can arrange that. So I've been feeling a lot of energy shifts in the past, I would say 4 to 6 weeks. Just a great deal. Heavy sometimes just inescapable changes. So we're going to be playing with something a little bit different today. This is the Winds of Change spread. So of course, just a pretty short but comprehensive 5-card spread. We will lay an extra card for qualification, and then we'll get the oracle cards for further information for your sign. So what does Aries need to know with regard to changes? So these guys just jumped out. They flipped over. Looks like the end of an era here around a vow, contract, something institutional. Could be a marriage, could be a contract really of any sort. But the Hierophant really is looking at long-standing traditions. Something might even be outdated, something might be overkill, and it's time for it to come to an end. So that could be a message for particular areas out there. And it's also interesting to see if it shows up in the main reading. So messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, with the Winds of Change spread. Messages for Aries. There we go, folks. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I'm really digging these new spreads. I find them extremely helpful. And let's get all your cards out before diving into what they mean in particular here. So as you saw as I laid the cards, we're looking at a clockwise sort of compass situation here. We went from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the center card, of course, is what we need to know. We have a lot of nice fire here for you. Of course, you know that fire is your element, Aries, so it looks like you're in the zone. You're feeling the zone here. 2 cards in air. You're thinking about a lot. You probably need more information. You could feel trapped at this time. And then just regard with the 10 of Pentacles here, there could be a legacy issue, something regarding a happy family home, that type of thing. So that's just some energy coming out of the cards. There, we'll look at them in their respective positions. Bottom of the deck energy for you is the 7 of Cups. This is really sweet energy, actually. So this is your only cups out of all the 5 cards here. 7 of Cups is really just reminding you that you have a few choices, something to choose between. What gets your heart beating the fastest? So again, regarding winds of change, issues around change, personal development, as a general matter, however you want to integrate that into your life at this time for the month of May. You have a few musings here, something that could get your heart going, get you excited, feels fantastic, but it's definitely more than one thing. So this is really just about maybe narrowing down some final decisions, okay? Narrowing down some choices that you have to make, but definitely we're looking at issues around the heart, okay? So something that speaks to your heart here, definitely more than one, probably not 7, I hope. That just sounds overwhelming, but you know, you could have up to 7 choices or decisions or dreams or goals, that type of thing. So it looks like we're going to be paying attention to something in particular here just because we have this gorgeous ace right in the center for you. Of course, that's really decision time. This is pinpointing one behavior or goal setting. So beginning with your Page of Wands, how is the change associated with your physical being or resources? Well, this is just needing to try something. So pages are really about the very beginning of development. You could require, and it does say so right in the center here, it does require an action. So if something gets your attention here, or there's a few things that you're on the fence about, you have a couple of muses here, maybe your first role for the month of May is to just pick one, okay? You don't have to decide it's the one. You can have maybe 3 things you'd like to try, but we're going to start with one here. And that's what it's saying, you know, just pick one. Choose something, start off small, but do it excitedly. Get whatever one gets your heart beating the most, makes you feel the most fantastic, get your energy up. Here with what challenges, opportunities, or problems the change may bring. I mean, this is an opportunity if I've ever seen one. So this is something having to do with a legacy. Remember that the Hierophant did jump out. I find as a major arcana, it does have some of the 10 of Pentacles energy to it. It just means something that's long lasting, built to last. Anytime we talk about a legacy, this is something that you could be passing down. This could be something as obvious, say, as the Hierophant presented, which was traditions. So something very traditional here. It might mean you have to upset something traditional. You might need to look into something traditional here. Pay more attention to it. Maybe try something out of the ordinary, or that would be considered untraditional. Here in the South position, we have to change the effect has on your plans or projects, how you will be inspired. Here's where we're looking at our real anxiety card. There's a sense of feeling trapped, right? But it's within your own mind. We're dealing with air energy, or swords as it were. It's the thoughts, ideas, the mind, even communication over the wire, over the internet. And it could be your internal dialogue, what you're telling yourself, what you're convincing yourself, your self-narrative, these types of things. So the changes effect on your plans or projects. It could be a little daunting. It could feel a little bit upsetting. For example, if you get to this point after you've chosen one of your few musings here and it's really upsetting, for example, I think what you may react like or experience is the sense of needing more information. So it's not necessarily, you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater here. I think if you have the wherewithal to choose one of these musings or goals or intentions, for example, something that really grabbed your heart, just get a little bit more information here. There could be rushing energy that's available to you here with regard to looking at perspectives, looking at new ideas, new concepts. There is a little bit of a heaviness. I do find a little bit of, you'll even see it in the color as well. Swords energy just there's something heavy about it. There's a real teaching and learning experience here. So something may present a little bit more of an issue or a theme of what may feel like a hurdle at this time. Remember to get out of your head. Try to talk to somebody else about it, perhaps. Or again, do some research, get some more information. This could be a little bit of a heavy card as well with regard to feeling a little bit pessimistic here. And it's no accident that it follows the 8, right? There's a little bit of sense of anxiety. It could just be not trusting yourself at this time. Like I said, you are a fire sign. You're dealing, the underlying energy seems to be something having to do with the emotions, maybe a couple of options here. So maybe just trusting in yourself a little more at this time, switching up your self-narrative at this time, being your own best friend. I will get another card for, I might even take a look at these two here, but let's finish up with something you need to know about the nature of the change. Action is required. So this is a very beautiful action card. It's in your element. Something's going to feel very natural about this. So maybe if you are upset with something or don't know which way to turn, take the natural path. As long as you feel natural about what you're going, how you're moving into this or how you're exploring this, for example, don't give up. I would say don't give up, your sense of self or, your sense of peace or your peace of mind here. Definitely set yourself free, gather more information. I definitely want to take a look here specifically at the emotional reactions or experiences you can expect here with the Messenger of Swords or air in this deck. What emotional reactions are you experiencing? Why is the Messenger of Swords in the emotional actions or experiences? Messenger Okay, we had 3 jump out. I actually am going to take them. So we're looking specifically at this position here. We have this nice Sagittarius energy. This is a really, are you coming with me? I have an idea. It's great. Let's go. Energy, very self-assured. This can be considered entrepreneurial energy. It's very excitable, very self-assured, and very inspirational. And here we have some more heavy energy here. So you have a little bit of a broken heart. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Also, I find the 3 of Swords really does speak to needing some support at this time. Maybe you need to let go of an old narrative or story you've been telling yourself. Maybe it's around this energy or a Sagittarius or fire sign. And then we have just a sense of loss, an emotional loss here. Feeling something has been... It's different than the 5 of Pentacles with loss, because that's 5 of Pentacles really speaks about rejection, feeling left out, feeling as though you don't have enough. It's like poverty thinking. This is a little bit different. Of course, the 5s are a little bit chaotic anyway, but it can provide, as you know, balance. Once we gather balance, 5 of Cups is really coming from a place of, not necessarily feeling rejected. It's grief. It's a sense of loss. Right? It's a little bit different there. And you could feel overwhelmed at this time. So if you have begun something, and for example, with regard to this theme around, what inspires you, what's gotten your heart, and, if you really feel by middle to near the end of the month here, Aries, that you don't like the position you've taken, you do want to change your mind, say on a theme with regard to an inspiration or a clue or a muse, right? Could be a person, but it's more than likely a theme or an idea. Then you will know, like if it brings you grief, if it brings you loss, if it dampens your entrepreneurial sense of spirit or sense of self, sense of well-being, if there's a lot of chatter in your mind about it, and it's unsettling, it's giving you anxiety, if it's affecting something long-term or legacy or something that was built to last, you might want to consider putting that on the back burner. That might be the action you need to take here, is to say, look, enough is enough. Now I've explored it. Now it really isn't for me. I'm going to try something else. You can do that this way. You are not stuck, because like I said, you had at least one option here. We do have the Joy card, so I do see something quite beautiful for you. One of my favorite cards out of the whole deck, in fact, is the Hummingbird. Joy really is what we give to ourselves. I think another point of interest here with the Hummingbird is to suggest that something small is mighty, something small from the natural world, something that we usually are clued out about, something that we don't give a lot of thought to, okay, something that normally escapes us, etc., etc. I'm going to ask that maybe you pay attention to that. That could bring a lot of joy to you this month, something simple and something natural and something beautiful. The guardian angel always shows up when you need it the most. I find that with Archangel Michael out of this deck as well. You could just be feeling, I'm telling you, it's not just me. There's something in the air. I think the winds of change are affecting us all a little differently. So I think if you look for the positive at this time, maybe giving yourself some options could be a real element of freedom for you as well, freeing yourself from a sense of, loss, grief, a bit, heartbreak, feeling as though you don't have what it takes, overthinking something. I think the second it gets into, whatever it is for you this month, I think the second it gets into overthinking and something that induces anxiety is when you're going to close the door on that, or maybe just put it on a shelf for now. Don't torture yourself, for heaven's sakes. And work with what's going well for you. Work with what's left, what you feel good about. Stay optimistic about your love life. Of course, this includes creativity. And love it can be platonic. Of course, this could be friends, family, love for your work, love for your ideas, love for your goals, etc. Use it how you see fit. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, also joy, right? And then religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I see this a lot when there is a difference in age, when there is a difference in environment, even culture. You can look at religious as a cultural difference. So you could just be having moments of awareness here as well, moments of, you know, a recognition. There could be a big change for you where you're snapped into dealing with something or forced to deal with something here as well. You could be asked to, you know, manage what you've always been taught to believe and think here as well, especially because we are dealing with your Ten of Pentacles energy, something that looks like or it was designed to be built to last here. So that could be shaken up a little bit for you. Oops, almost forgot this guy. So Aries, this is your final oracle card for your reading for May 2019. Lots of really nice, hopeful messages here for you as well. I think it's going to be a month for you to help yourself out of something that you've been either putting off or that you perhaps put undue stock in. For example, you thought it was going to work out, and maybe there's just something better for you here. I want to mention the religion, upbringing, and spiritual path could mean distance, age, culture, background, that type of thing, if I already hadn't. So I'm going to choose from these cards here. Just want a final message for Aries. Peace. Yeah, I think this is essential for you. I think this is where you're headed. You're headed sort of home to this place. I think it's just by virtue of this process, however, I don't think you can get to it any easier, any faster. In fact, you know, try to enjoy the ride as much as you enjoy the outcome here. But peace, at the end of the day, this is yours. This is what's available to you. So try to keep positive. Stay optimistic. If you need a guardian angel or you need your ancestors at this time, or deep integrative spiritual knowledge, turn to someone who can help you with that you can trust, or meditate, go within. And I'm wishing you all the best, Aries. I hope this reading was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.